I still need to finish Engage. I forgot I never
Do
beat it.
you?
That's what I was kind of thinking. I played it quite a bit and I really enjoyed it, and then I forgot about it. So maybe I play it, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Here's the
But
thing.
Metaphor
If
rocks.
you like the gameplay with Engage, like I completely understand that. Anyone who defends that fucking plot to me, you're lying.
I love the gameplay. That's where I am with it.
You're
I thought
lying. The plot's bad.
Three Horses, great plot. Engage, better gameplay. Not too sure about the plot. I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
how I
much
feel
better
too.
gameplay though. Yeah, it's
Yeah, because I
yeah.
did all the Ash and Wolf stuff, and we redid Black Eagles, and I think we romanced Yuritsa this time, which was
Mm-hmm.
interesting and good, and like probably the best romance route in the game, honestly, which sucks because he came in so late that because we weren't
Yeah,
allowed to do it at first. He was like DLC almost.
yeah.
um, which was stupid because it looked like he was supposed to be one to begin with, and they just didn't finish on time or something. But his
DLC.
ending, I know, his ending is so like good compared to like all the other romance endings you get. I was just like, what the fuck?
Hell yeah.
This shit's romantic. That's great.
That's fun.
Um anyways, highly recommend if you ever replay Three Houses. You do have to do Black Eagles again, which is not horrible because it's the best route. Um
And you know what's weird? I remember the overworld stuff of Three Houses more than I do Engage.
yeah,
Like,
because Engages is
yeah, like Engage. I don't know. That's the thing that sucks about Engage is like the combat is like a lot better. That's what I remember
Mhm.
liking. Is like the actual
Combat's great.
battles were sick. And like Three Houses battles are great too. Like don't get me twisted. That game's gameplay is good, but it's like Engage upgraded it. But then I feel like they tried to streamline some things from Three Houses, and it didn't really turn out well. Like for instance, there's
No.
like you go talk to people, and there's just like a static PNG in the background, which like
Yeah.
no, like we're not gonna do that. I'm not doing that with y'all. But
Yeah. And see,
yeah,
like, you can argue too. Because people have been talking about metaphor and they're like, there's no romance routes. So, like, this is perfect. And, like, Engage doesn't have them either, but it sucks for it because,
yeah,
it's still baiting you with it. So it's like, why'd you do that? That was
yeah.
weird.
The baiting is
I
weird.
hate Engage.
Yeah,
I
I'm probably
really
gonna
do.
go back and just beat it just for the sake of beating it because I'm
Yeah.
stubborn. But I don't know,
Final
man.
battles are good. Like, they're good battles. It's just that the you got to sit through like literally 10 minutes of cutscene before you get to it. And I wanted to kill myself.
See,
It was so bad.
that's where I don't know. That's where some of those games lose me, especially like Fire Emblem, right? Like Metaphor has long cutscenes too. Like all those Atlas games do. Like they
Yeah,
have long cutscenes, which forgot to mention. This one has anime cutscenes that are actually pretty well animated. I was like,
that
oh,
was
these
sick.
actually look good. Um, but also like I don't know. I feel like once the dialogue is just like not really going, which is where I got with Engage. Is like sometimes I'm like y'all are just talking. Like I don't like
Yeah.
I don't know why we can't just end this conversation now. Like now you're over explaining things. That's what I kind of remember from Engage. But yeah, I don't know. I'll go back
Yeah.
to it eventually. I'm not really worried about it. I think the next game I'm gonna play is like I think I talked about Xenoblade Chronicles. I might play one of those next, but I think I might be burned out on RPGs for a minute
You
after I
should play
finish
Echoes of
Metaphor.
Wisdom until you feel like playing RPGs again.
Okay, Echoes of Wisdom. Oh yeah, yeah, the Zelda game. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. I told you
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I forgot it
Yeah.
even came out.
Everyone forgot about it. It's really good though, by the way.
So,
That I really enjoyed that game a lot.
because I think Metaphor came out like the same. A couple things came out
Yes.
around the same
It
time, so it
came
kind of
out
got
weeks
lost.
before Metaphor did, and then it just immediately just everyone because it's a 2D Zelda and people are really weird about 2D Zeldas, I have learned. Well, it's not 2D because
Even
it's
though they're
like
the best ones, but
isometric.
whatever.
I know, and that's like my whole thing is like I get why like people wanted like a mainline Zelda like Zelda game, but like also I'm like I really enjoyed this. I thought it was good. I really like the little like handheld Zelda games. I think they're great. They're shorter, but like I don't know, I feel like they pack a lot in them. They usually have tight little plots for them.
Yeah,
It was good. Zelda was characterized good. I liked everything about it. I don't have any complaints about that game, honestly. Like it was It was a solid like 9, honestly, for me. I
Slap.
really liked
Man,
it a lot.
that's good. I don't know. I trust your judgment on Zelda games. I feel like I know what kind of Zelda games you like and why
Yeah.
you like them. Because I love the 2D Zelda games. Those are some of my favorite ones. Because I think Link's Awakening I played all the way through the
Mhm.
remake, and I love
And
that
that
game.
one's
That game
so
is so
good.
good.
If you liked Link's Awakening, you'll like Echoes of Wisdom a
Good.
lot
Okay.
because
Okay.
it just improves on the Link's Awakening stuff they had, like times 5. And then it's also Zelda, and also you have new mechanics because you can't operate the same way Link does. And it's really funny sometimes because you'll come up against something, you're like, oh, I could just do this, and you're like, I don't have a fucking sword. Well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta figure out. I gotta
Whoops.
use my brain. But like
So
also people complaining about like Zelda games not having like puzzles and dungeons and stuff anymore. Play Echoes of Wisdom. Just play Echoes of Wisdom. There's so
crazy
many fucking
because
puzzles in that game.
isn't that like all Tears of the Kingdom is from what I remember? It's like
Yeah, kind of. But also
dungeons on
like
dungeons.
but like people miss the like old structure, I
Mm,
guess, where like it's like you have a mini boss and then you have like an actual like elemental dungeon kind of thing. And I do
yeah,
think that with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom that isn't as much of a thing, so I do get that. But like I also felt like a lot of Echoes of Wisdom was like there's parts of it that can be genuinely challenging if you want them to
good,
be. So like there's a lot of extra stuff you can do that you don't have to do where it's like yeah you kind of have to run the gauntlet for those ones, but it's worth it because you get really good shit out of it. um yeah, I don't know, I like Tears of the Kingdom, but also like the further away I get from it, the more I'm like I wasn't super invested in it. I wasn't as invested as I thought I was even
mm-hmm.
like earlier this year. And like I wish there had been a little more to it, but I did really enjoy it. But I think it just feels like extension of Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
just like Breath
If
of the Wild DLC almost.
yeah, because sometimes when I play that game, because I go back to it sometimes, I never beat it. I'm trying to like slow. I'm
Right.
just inching my way through it because I don't know. I something about open world games, just especially the past like 3 or 4 years for me.
I feel you.
They're really hard for me to finish.
Yeah.
I love them. For instance, Elden Ring. I even started the DLC for that, which is,
Oh, nice.
by the way, holy shit! It's literally just a entire new fucking game, basically.
Jesus.
It's well because it costs $50 too, right? And people were like, it better be a brand new game. It basically is. You kind of start from level 1 too when you start it because there's a new
Mhm.
upgrade system that is separate from the one in the base game. Um, but yeah, that's the thing about those games is like I'm just kind of the person I'll plug away at it for years until I finish it
Yeah.
because it's just so long. So like I don't know, having a Zelda game that isn't open world is good because I
Yeah.
like having like okay, I'm going to go do this thing next. Great, I will go do this thing next. Not okay, I could go do this, I could go do this, I could go do
Yeah.
this, I could go do this, I could go do this,
You could beat
and
Zelda in a
yeah,
week, easy. Probably
nice.
shorter if you just stuck to like the main quest. You could probably
Mm,
beat it in like not that long
I
at
dig it.
all.
I
But
dig it.
yeah, it's so worthwhile doing all the side quest stuff in it. Like it actually feels like world building and like you're doing something almost.
Actual
So
world
it's just
building.
like yeah, and it's like engaging goals for it, and it doesn't feel like just like drops in a bucket or whatever. Like you actually feel like oh, like this is something because we were getting some stuff earlier on, and I was like I don't know if this is like relevant
Mm.
to like what we're doing, and then later on I was like oh, that's why you want that
Um.
shit. Okay, that's
Mm.
crazy. It also has Deku scrubs in it, which is crazy. I love that.
Oh. Okay.
They're great. They're like a whole little race now in it.
That's cool.
You have River Zora, which look like the classic Zora, and then you have like Ocean Zora, which look like uh kind of like Ocarina of Time Zoras, which are
That's cool.
great. Love both of them. You get the Gerudo are pretty well done in it, honestly. I feel like Nintendo has progressively been getting slightly better about
Less
the
racist.
Gerudo. A little less racist
A
each
little less
game.
racist. Yeah.
Just a smidge. They kind of took a step back with Tears of the Kingdom, I'm not gonna lie, because that, that shit was bad. Oh my god.
This
Shit with
race is dark
Ganondorf.
skinned. They live in the desert and they have really big noses. I wonder who they're supposed to represent.
I
I'm not
know.
sure.
Every time, and people are like, "Oh, I didn't know it was racist," and I'm like,
Are
"Yeah, you
you
did.
stupid?
Are you
Are you
dumb?"
dumb? Are you dumb?
The shit with like Ganondorf and Tears of the Kingdom so fucking ominous, and he's so dark skinned in it that
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, okay,
He's literally
y'all
black. He's literally
need to
black sometimes. It's
chill.
kind of funny.
Y'all
I
need to chill the fuck out for real.
I'm excited. I think I will. I think I'll pick that one up because I haven't picked it. The last
Yeah.
Switch game I picked up physically was actually Balatro. I have like a physical copy of that
Oh,
now. So
nice.
that's because it actually comes with the little Joker cards too. It's cool.
Yeah, I saw
But
that. I was like, that's cute.
but I did want to talk about. I was gonna ask you if you played that Peach game, but before that, I was gonna
Oh.
say, yeah, Zelda got kind of fucked because
Yeah.
the things that came out around it. Okay, so like Astrobot came out like a couple weeks before it, right? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's not gonna affect that game.
Which was really
Yeah,
good. If you like platformers, you should play Astrobot. That's my other like game of the year. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It
I feel
slaps.
bad because I still haven't picked it up, even though I showed Cal the one that came with the PS5 and we played that one
I
together.
know.
I still haven't
No,
picked
we
it up.
played that too, and I was like, oh my god, that's
Yeah,
so
I need
fun.
to pick it up.
But
I've heard Astrobot is fantastic. I need to pick it up. But
it's
after
such a
the
good platformer. Like genuinely, it's the best platformer I've played in a long time.
that's what I've heard. I heard people say it's like
It's insane.
excellent. I'm might buy that after this, honestly.
Yeah,
There's
it's a good like
also
decompressor. Also a short game,
a
honestly.
short
Not too
game. Okay,
short, but short-ish.
that might be what I play after Metaphor.
Yeah.
But after that, okay, not much else. Okay, Until Dawn remake for some reason. I don't know. I still don't know why they did that. That came out.
I did that.
They did it too because I think there's a movie coming out, which is funny because the game has real actors in it, and none of the actors in the movie are the actors from the game. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why they made it. They're gonna make it a movie. I think it's really bizarre. But the Silent Hill 2 remake came out like a couple weeks after.
Yeah.
Which from what I've heard was actually pretty damn good from what people said. I heard
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who have liked it.
the only complaints I saw is that the game has a lot of padding now, which I think is a symptom of modern game design. I feel like now people feel like they have to get their money's worth out of $70 or whatever. So a lot of people, their biggest complaints is there's a lot of side quests. Like there's a lot of side quests that were not in the original that aren't really as relevant either, or they over-explain things that the original didn't explain as much. Also, there's apparently like a weird thing where this one acknowledges the fact that it's not the original Silent Hill 2, which I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But
I don't know if I like that.
thank you. Oh, thank you. Put it in the microwave for now. Thank you. I appreciate that. My wife came and dropped me off coffee because she's amazing.
Aw.
But yeah, so then after that, Dragon Ball Sparking, which is like one of the best-selling games of this year that came out.
Right.
And then also Metaphor. So yeah, Zelda just kind of got buried underneath all these other like big titles.
Did. There was a lot of indie games coming out at that time too, because I played Plucky Squire right before I played Echoes of Wisdom, because I had my eye on it since they put that first trailer out, because I was like, I know this is like a kid's game, but it looks really cute, and I really want to support them, because like it's a fun concept. I like it a lot. God, I wish I liked that game more than I did. It was kind of sad for me. I was really disappointed with that game. And it's not even necessarily like the dev's fault entirely, I think. I just think it honestly needed to cook like another few months, because there was a lot of bugs with it, and there was like some of the mini game stuff like could have controlled so much better. It gets like a little bit repetitive at points, and like it has a lot of unique ideas, and it's really cute, and like I love all the different like mediums they use or like emulate in it. It's very fun, but like it's just not quite what I wanted it to be. I think it's a good kids game. I think like if you have like someone from like I'd say like 8 to like 14, probably in that range, maybe a little bit younger, they would probably really like it a lot, and it would probably I think it's probably gonna like kids who do play it are gonna like it. But I think as an adult I just needed a little bit more. And it's not for me, so like I can acknowledge that. But
that's fair.
it was disappointing. It was a little disappointing though.
That's fair, because I remember seeing that when it looks really cool. Like
Yeah,
it pulls you in like visually, so I do understand that part.
it's very
I
British also.
oh yeah, negative. Okay, I'm good. No, but did you actually play that Peach game that came out earlier
I
this year?
did not because it runs like ass. Yeah, I
No.
know. No, I was super hyped for that game. I was ready, and then I saw people's reviews of it, and I'm like, I am not paying that much money for
That
that.
sucks.
I was so sad. That was another game I was disappointed about because I was like ready for that game. I was like, oh man, like the Peach game. I want to play another Peach game. That would be great. We
Yeah,
haven't
it's been
had one since the
years.
DS,
Yeah,
like
like over a
that's
decade.
great. She gets cute outfits. She has like a little Rose of Versailles reference in there. I was like, fuck yeah, like
That's
I'm
fun.
about this. Um, runs like ass, also kind of glitchy.
Oh
Not
no.
as developed as it should have been for a Nintendo title, especially one that they like were really pushing.
Yeah,
Um,
they were promoting the game heavy the last few months before it
yeah,
came out. So
which I was worried about Echoes of Wisdom a little bit because of how bad the Peach one looked when it came out. And I was
thank God
just
it's
like,
different teams. Honestly, like
damn. Yeah, it was a different team, different type of game, different everything. Like I feel like the Zelda game had a lot better bones to work off because it seemed like they were kind of doing like a completely new thing for the Peach game. Um I think I was just also disappointed because like Mario Wonder was so fun. It was so good.
yeah, Wonder was really good. I love that
Wonder was
game.
great.
Yeah,
And then so I was like, "Oh man, like the Peach game is going to be like cool too cuz Nintendo's really like cranking
they're
them
on
out
top
right
of it
now."
right now. Yeah,
Yeah, and then it came out and I
damn.
saw like gameplay from it and I was like, "Oh no, I am not touching
You're
that."
like a hot ass. That sucks.
Yeah, I was so sad about it. It was yeah, that was one game where I was like super hyped for it and then I saw stuff after it came out and I was like,
Okay.
uh-uh,
See,
not that one.
that kind of sucks. I hope that
Yeah.
listen. I hope the Switch 2 comes out and it runs better at least on that.
My hope
I
too. Like if it
yeah
runs better on it, I'll probably grab it on sale, but from what I could see it was also just some like programming stuff too that
yeah
wasn't done as well as it could have
can't be
been,
fixed
so
by performance. Yeah,
yeah, so we'll see about that. I need them to put out the Switch 2 already because I'm getting sick of the
which
Switch, as y'all know.
they did say that they are working on it, and they
Yeah,
did say it's backwards compatible, so that's good.
hallelujah.
First time in years that a fucking Nintendo mainline console has been backwards compatible. So
Right.
it's first time since the Wii U was backwards compatible. I guess it was backwards compatible with
The
the
Wii
Wii.
U is backwards
Yeah,
compatible to the Wii. It's just not, you can't do GameCube games, and then the Wii you can do whatever the
GameCube
fuck
and
you want on
Wii.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
I have a
I
I have a
had the
I have a
stupidest
hacked Wii
question.
U. Has all this. It has like everything from since like the SNES on it. I just pull this bitch out and play it sometimes.
I love that.
The Wii U's
Um,
underrated console. I love it. Good little guy.
I I can't remember if I told you. My friend Raz, who I made at work, had like an older Steam Deck that doesn't work entirely the way it should, and she gave it to me. I
What?
know, I know,
Fuck yeah, dude! You know how bad I
I
want a Steam
know,
Deck? That is
I
sick.
know, I know, and like it
Raz
doesn't
is so cool.
run.
Every time I learn something about it, she gets cooler.
I'm actually seeing a movie with her today, but yeah, we need to like figure out a hangout because I think you would love her. She's fantastic. She's genuinely like one of the coolest people I've ever met. I'm like, damn, this is what cool people are
Hell
like.
yeah.
But it doesn't run like once it like starts picking up on like I think like the CPU or the GPU, like it'll like overclock almost. And apparently that was an
Right.
issue that like a lot of them had. I
Yes, I actually
wanna
remember this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wanna crack it open and see if like a little thermal paste might fix it a bit and help with some of the coolant, but I haven't done it yet because I'm a chicken.
There are fixes.
Also,
I've seen people say, yeah.
yeah, it runs indie games really well for the most part. It did freak out when I was playing Dead Cells and got to like a later level, and there was like so much shit going on the screen, and it was like ah, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
I literally want one
Um,
just to play Isaac in Balatro. That was literally all I would play on
yeah,
it
you could
if I
definitely
had
do
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was. That's basically like because I played Dead Cells, Vampire Survivors, and Balatro on it mostly.
Vampire
and some
Survivors
other like
machine. Let's fucking go.
no, it was for like the first like month and a half I had it. That is all I played on it. I
Hell
would get
yeah.
home from work. I was exhausted because I was getting used to my new schedule, and I would just like lay in bed and like play Vampire Survivors.
Hell yeah.
I need to get DLC for that because I really do enjoy that game.
It
It's very
finally
fun.
got. I know we need to talk about that thing. It
Yeah,
finally got
the
Castlevania DLC,
Castlevania.
which is
Yes, I
funny because
saw.
I don't know if you saw it. That I almost like cried laughing the first time because they said we have a Konami collab coming up, and then it was fucking Contra, and I was like cracked because I love
Uh,
Contra too, but it's like that's not the one we wanted. You know that that's not. We didn't want Contra. We wanted Castlevania,
But
but
it's such a huge update for it. Like it's
yeah,
such a huge DLC pack that I was like, you know what? They're like, okay, so like we know we like tease you guys about this forever. So you can have every Castlevania character. And I was just
yes.
like, oh, okay. It's like a whole other like game in this. That's cool.
Yeah, I heard it's like it's gigantic. I'm excited. I still think Vampire Survivors is legitimately one of my favorite games of the past couple of years.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
fun,
solid.
and it's like it's not like just like total bullshit. Like it is like
No.
once you get into it, you're like, okay, I gotta go get this item. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm this level by the time this thing comes, and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
like the
super fun.
DLC like storylines are good. It has a storyline which I wasn't really
Hmm.
expecting. I don't know why, but like it actually has a plot which is kind of like engaging too, even though you're like just running around doing shit. I don't know. I really feel like a lot of people who miss arcade games should just play like Vampire Survivors
Yeah,
because it's such a good like arcade game to
yeah,
me.
it is.
Um
It's good. You're
really
done with a
solid.
round in like 30 minutes too. Like it doesn't take long to finish a
Yeah,
whole playthrough.
yeah, I like that too because it's like it can go a little over 30 minutes sometimes if you're like taking a bit to like choose stuff or like you have screens going on or whatever. So like I usually think like 45 minutes is kind of the
Yeah.
max. But it caps you out like you get killed so you can't keep going.
Yeah,
Um
unless you do some
I
other
like it a lot
wild
as a
shit.
roguelite. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would like Dead Cells because I was like, I don't know, A, if I'm
Yeah, I
good
heard you
enough for
mention that.
this, and B, like if I'll like it at all. Because like from what I heard about it, I was like, I'm gonna be ass at that game. And I'm not great at the game. I'm not gonna pretend I'm like a speedrunner for Dead Cells or
What?
whatever.
You're not?
What? No, I know. But it's like way more intuitive than I expected, and it's way more engaging than I expected to. I thought like it would piss me off like getting that far in it and then having to like start over. Because like I like a lot of roguelikes, but I haven't really played like action ones that much
Hmm.
because I was worried they would piss me off, honestly.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. And like sometimes it does piss me off. Like I got really far one time. I was doing so
Hmm.
fucking good, and then I did the stupidest thing in the world, and I was
If
like,
it
that
feels
was
extra bad in Dead
dumb.
Cells. I
It's so
like
bad. I felt like shit. I put the game down after that. I was like, I need
that's
a
my only
break.
thing about roguelikes is like sometimes you get so far in a run, especially Dead Cells specifically.
Yeah,
Because I haven't played it in a while, but I did have like a few hours on it, and I really liked what I
yeah,
played. I just there's so many games I forget about it. But that's one thing I noticed though is the runs in that game can go really long. Like you can just
yeah. You
keep
can get
going.
far.
You can get really
There's a
far.
lot.
It's good though. It's funny. When I played it, I was expecting something specific, and it was that, but like it was a lot more than that. Like it was,
Yeah, that's kind of how
yeah,
I felt too.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
enough to keep me coming back even when I am frustrated. Like it is one of those games where like I get frustrated. I'm like, I need to put this down, otherwise I'm gonna be like mad all day, and I don't
Hmm.
want that. Um, and it's not like Slay the Spire or like a lot of other stuff I play where there's like limited rounds and there's like a
Yeah,
definitive goal or whatever. If I haven't even reached the end of like a Dead Cells run yet.
yeah. Because I think there's
I don't
several
know
ways to
where it
end it
is.
too. Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't either. I never finished a run. Yeah,
it's
it's
long.
it's a
I
lot
made it through a
going
lot
on.
of levels too. I was just like, what the fuck? And if you're not
No.
leveled up when you get to a certain point, you're fucked. Like, if you were not putting shit into, like, if you were just speed running through it and you're under leveled, you're fucked. Like,
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
fuck your shit up.
So some
It's
bosses I
crazy.
fought, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I came here at the right time. I was like, maybe I
No,
should have gone
yeah.
somewhere else first.
Yeah,
God,
I've had those moments. It's definitely like a skate or die game. Like, you skate or you die.
you
But
skate or you die. Well put, honestly. Yeah, well,
yeah. So I like it a lot though. I like it way more than I expected. I'm like, what have I even played on Steam? Because
yeah, I'm looking right now too.
again,
I'm gonna get back to Cult of the Lamb. I see that it's on here. Like I'm looking at my recently played, right? That game is really
mhm,
fun, and they keep updating it, which is really cool. So I really like Cult of the Lamb, especially on PC and stuff. Isaac
mhm,
soon is getting a multiplayer update, which I'm super hype about. Um, because they teased it about a year ago. They were doing testing, and then now it's going to be like real. So the only thing though is that
mhm,
the only thing that's difficult about Isaac is like you can't just buy the base game. You kind of have to buy all the DLC to get like the most current version of the
mhm.
game. Like it's not like Dead Cells where like Dead Cells has a lot of DLC as well, but you don't
Yeah.
need the DLC to play the game effectively. Um, it just supplements the game, right? Isaac, it's literally like you don't have the latest update if you don't have the DLC. So
Yeah.
it's hard to recommend that one as much because it's like it's not so much a $15 investment. It's more like a $50 investment because it's the game and all
Mhm.
of its DLC. But I'm glad you like Dead Cells because I really liked that game a lot when I played it
Yeah.
because it's solid. It's like a Castlevania slash like Metroid thing, but it does its own thing with it. So
Yeah. I just looked. I have one more game I want to talk about, and then
please.
we can go on. So I've had like two friends up my butt about playing Deadlock. And for those of you who don't know, I've only played like Overwatch. I've never played League. I've
You never
never
played a
played
MOBA
Dota.
before, Cal?
I know,
What?
I've never played a MOBA in my fucking life. I know that's shocking if you know anything about what games I like, but I've never played a MOBA before. So I didn't know what to fucking expect going into this. And I had a friend who was like, I fiddled around with it a little bit, and I was like, okay, I kind of have like a rough grasp on
Doesn't
this.
Raz play it a lot? I see her online a lot. Play it.
Raz has so many fucking hours in it, dude. Raz used to be a League player though, so I'm not surprised. So used to be being the keyword. But I had another friend who really wanted to play because, like, he kind of fucked his thumb up, so we couldn't play fighting games as much. But he's been playing a lot of Deadlock, and he's like, "I want to play with you." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And Raz had been trying to get me to play, and was like, "We could do like a bot run, so you can get like a feel for things." I was like, "Cool." Nick did not do that for me. He put me in a ranked match right off the bat. First time I've ever played in my life because there's not like a normal mode. There's either like bot mode or ranked match right now.
Right.
That was the most harrowing experience of my fucking life, dude.
Ah, man.
I had some dude cussing my ass out the entire
Welcome
time.
to MOBAs. Hello. This is your league experience.
I didn't realize it was
Congratulations.
ranked though, so like
Yeah.
I understand now. I would have been pissed at me
Yeah,
too.
it's
I
like
would be like,
Overwatch.
"What the fuck's?"
If some random
Yeah, I'd
bitch
be like,
came in. Yeah.
I came into ranked and it's like, "What are you doing? Go practice more." You know, like I would have been pissed too. Not like I wouldn't called me like a little bitch 10 times, but like it is what it is. But we got to the end of the game, and I started like crying laughing because I looked at the points. I had like 2K points or something, right? Everyone else had at least 20K points.
Okay. Yep.
I
So
was like, I'm never touching this fucking game again. I've been trying to get like my feet back under me so I can just play like a casual thing with Raz because she keeps asking me and she's like, if you want to play Deadlock, and like I told her about that. She was like, I cannot believe he did that to you, and I was like, I'm a little scarred.
so
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm see listen, okay, so you should play with me too because I have not played it yet. And I have a funny story about it. I think you saw, and we have a group chat where we play fighting games with these guys. I asked them for a code, and I got a code, but here's the thing: I did not realize your brother-in-law sent me a fucking code like 3 or 4 months ago, and I just did
Oh my
not see
god.
it. So, Zach, if you're listening to this, yes, I accepted your invite to play Deadlock. Thank you so much for giving me a code for it. Because people who don't know, to play Deadlock right now,
That's
you
so
have to get
funny.
invited. Somebody has to give you
Yeah.
the permission to play, basically. So I didn't have it,
Yeah.
but then Zach, before I could even ask, gave me an invite. So
Because
shout
I
out to
think he's
Zach.
the one who sent me one too.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
I've been afraid to play it because I don't play MOBAs either. I've never played a MOBA.
Right.
Closest thing I've played to a MOBA is, like you said, Overwatch. That's the closest thing I've played to this,
Yeah.
right? And even then, that's like pushing it, right? And
Yeah.
my only other experience with this game is one, watching people play it. And go look this up. I might send it to you, but for people who aren't initiated, there's a streamer named Northern Lion. Fucking hilarious. He's just a guy. He's just a Canadian dude, right? Really funny. But his wife also plays a lot of video games. She's a streamer too, and she's very heavy into MOBAs. Like she's super into MOBAs. He does not play MOBAs. If you watch him, most of the time he's playing like Balatro, like maybe Dark Souls or something. Like he's a
Mhm.
variety gamer, right? He plays a bunch of other stuff. She's heavy
Right.
into
Right.
MOBAs.
Right.
There's a funny ass video of him playing Deadlock with her for the first time, and she's
Oh
like
no.
cussing at him. She's getting mad at him. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to cover me." Blah blah blah. I'll send it to you if you need to look it up.
Oh
Go look
my
up.
god.
For anybody listening to this, go look up. It's the Library of Laterno, because that's like the people who archive his stuff. They like make all the clips.
Right.
Go back like a month ago. There's a video of him playing Deadlock with his wife. Hilarious, because she's super
Oh my
serious. He's
god.
trying to figure it out. He's never played League or anything either.
Yeah.
He's trying to
No.
figure it out,
There's so
and
much.
she is just like up his ass. It's like, and like even she's, I think like
Oh
it even starts with her
man.
being like, "You need to come play with me and my boys." She's like, "Me and my boys play a lot." She's like, "You should come play with me and my boys." He's like, "You and your boys are inappropriate." He's like, "You guys curse a lot and you guys get mad at each other." And she's like, "No, we won't get mad at you." Literally 5 minutes later, she's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Ryan? What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Which is, and it's even
MOBA
funnier because they have
moment.
a kid. They have like a kid together and shit too. Like it just makes it like 10 times funnier. But that has made me
So funny.
terrified to play because I'm like, oh,
Yes.
I don't know how to
No.
play MOBAs. I have no idea. So me and you should play
I
bot
also
matches
got my
together.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get Raz in there so she can kind of like guide us through it, and we'll play, because she's nice about it. She's not like a
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah.
Um, because she also hates playing like ranked with people, which is why it took her so long to play like Street Fighter ranked and stuff.
See, and that's the thing. I can play ranked fighting games, no problem,
Yeah.
because that's just me and you. If you beat my ass, cool. It is what it is. If I beat your ass, cool. It is what it is. If I let my team down, I'm going to cry.
Yes. That's why it took me so long to play Overwatch ranked, because I was like, I need to be like good before
Hmm.
I play
Hmm.
this, because I'm not going to be an embarrassment to myself and my team. And I was good. I was a good ranked Mercy. I did not play anyone else in ranked because I was not good enough with anyone else to play
Oh my
ranked.
god.
But it's
Yeah.
such a whack experience even then. Like I remember, I think I've told this story before on here, but like I was playing one time, and we were kind of like chatting a little bit, trying to like, get all grouped up and
Coordinate.
stuff, and we,
Yeah.
we were not doing great. It could have been a lot better. All of a sudden, it was mostly me and this other dude talking, and out of nowhere we hear this like little like 8-year-old like prepubescent boy be like, "You guys aren't very good." Right.
He fucking clocked y'all. Jesus Christ. Kid. Relax, kid.
Oh man, like
Relax, dog. It is not that
holy shit. He wasn't even mad. He was just like, "Y'all
y'all
aren't
kind of
very good."
ass.
Just like, yeah, just like a sense of wonderment almost. He was like, "Y'all aren't very good." And I was like, "No."
Children of the
This
future,
is
you know,
this is
they could
this isn't
smell
even diamond, man. We're in gold. Like
they could
we're
smell
not gonna be
noobs
very
from a
good.
mile away. It's fine. Oh my god, that's
It was
hilarious.
so fucking funny, and I was just like, damn, that sucks. And I've had like guys cuss me out in Overwatch before, so when I started like Deadlock, I was like, I'd be okay. I also didn't realize it was on, and so out of nowhere, this dude's just shit talking me. But also, he was calling my character name, not like my gamer tag,
Hmm.
and I didn't know my character name at first.
It
So
is
he's
what it
cussing me
is.
out.
It
And then
is what it
after a minute,
is.
I had like that Michael Sarah where I was like, oh gosh, that's me, you know?
Oh, that's me. Yeah, no,
That's
literally.
me. shit
I
was
feel
ass. I
I feel
I
you.
it it was crazy.
I feel you, man.
Anyways, I haven't picked it up since then. It's been like a month and a half. I've been too scared. I've also been
So
too busy,
funny.
but I was just like, I'll have the mental fortitude for this. But if you'll play with me and Raz, I feel like I can like laugh stuff off at least.
That's my best
Cause
chance
like,
at playing.
okay, cool,
Personally
me
too.
too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad because like everyone's like, oh, it's really easy once you get the hang of it. And I'm watching this video and I'm like, Raz, I don't know what half this shit is. And
See,
she's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep focusing on this for now and then you can work on that later. I'm like, but it's a whole aspect of the game I don't
I need
get.
to know how to. So
I need to know.
there's actually an argument about this online. I think Sajam was talking about it too. But it's like how people say that fighting games are inaccessible. And
Yeah.
then this shit comes out and they got like whole paragraphs in the menus and shit. And that's supposed to be more accessible?
There's
No, you
shit
cannot.
in like the tutorial they don't even tell you because like you can't learn that in a tutorial. You have to like play it and then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's these secret rooms you can go into with mini bosses. And also you need to make sure all this shit's going down. And I'm just like, how do you prioritize in this?
Yeah.
Like how do you guys have insane time management.
It
That's crazy.
it reminds me, I don't know, MOBAs kind of remind me of a lot of those games that do require you to have like, because I don't know, I kind of disagree with people on fighting games. I do agree that if you've played more fighting games, you'll be better at fighting games, you'll understand them better. I feel like
Yeah.
now modern day fighting games, you can enter any of them at the ground level. I don't think it matters
Yeah.
which one you pick. MOBAs and what I've recently discovered, Monster Hunter. Fuck that. You try to enter that shit with the newest one, you will not know what's happening.
Uh,
The game will refuse to explain some things to you. Like right now, I'm learning Monster Hunter. I'm still learning Monster Hunter. I've been learning Monster Hunter for like a year.
mhm.
And I played the Wilds beta that came out. Super fun. But
I
the
need
thing
to
about
play that beta still.
the thing is though is that there's so much legacy skill to these games.
Yeah.
Nobody ever tell me how hard a fighting game is ever again. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it because it's not. If you play Monster Hunter or if you play any MOBA, do not try to tell me how hard fighting games are because you will. You're just not trying. And that's what I'm convinced at
Oh
this point.
man.
If you don't know how to play a fighting game, but you have like 1,000 hours in League of Legends, no, you're just not trying. You need to give
Yeah.
it another shot because if you can
You can
understand
do
that,
it.
you should probably have a master's degree too. Because
Yeah.
what? Like, yeah, no, I
I have
listen. We'll
another
play
friend
together.
we could play Monster Hunter with if you want, because I've been trying to get back into it. Because I played World a bit.
Mm.
I think that was the one previously, and then I've wanted to get into Rise. I have Rise. I own it. I would like to play it more at some point. He's been begging me to
We
too.
should play
He's
Rise.
really good, but he's patient. But yeah, if you ever want to do like a hunting party or something with him, let me know because he is always like chomping at the bit for people to play with.
We should. We should. I'm playing World on PS4 right now only because that's what Wilds would be closer to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's funny because that
Well, he
it's more
plays
of a
on
sequel
Xbox. I'm
to.
pretty sure it's cross
It's
compatible.
cross. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cross play. Yeah, so I'm good to play Rise though, because I've been playing Rise on PC, but I played
Yeah, we
World on
could start with
PS4.
Rise
So
and then try Wilds later
yeah,
after I
yeah.
remember how to play fucking Monster Hunter. Because I played in 2020, I played a lot of World, like a lot.
World's fun.
I look I
It's a
look
good
back on it,
game.
I was like, damn, I played a lot of this game. I don't remember most of it because I was like in a depression like Fugue, but like I played a lot of this game. Um, I don't know. I always love when my friends are like really excited about games and they're like, I want to play this with you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I
Mhm.
love playing games with people. And then I like get it and I'm like, I'm so scared to
Yeah,
play this
that's
game and I feel bad because
that's how I felt
I
about
just I
Monster
get
Hunter.
in my head about it.
My brother loves Monster Hunter. It's literally like one of his favorite games. I think he has like 600 hours in World or something like that. Like he played that game a lot. And
Yeah.
he's been trying to get me into it, but it's so funny. He's so far ahead of it. He tries to go back with me. He's like, I don't. He's like, I'm too strong. And like he will literally come into my game, try to help me with the hunt, and he'll just one shot everything. And then I'm like, you need to leave. Go away. I'll figure this out
Like
myself.
support me like verbally or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
while I do this. Yeah, that's I
God,
really just need someone to sit with me while I like get through the tutorial too. So I'm just
goddamn.
maybe we could do that together. You could do your shit and I can get through the fucking tutorial finally.
Someday.
Um Someday. Yeah, but I don't know. I love the aesthetics of Monster Hunter. I like I like the like battle system and stuff too. Like I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the hunts and stuff when I was playing it more. But like you said, like there's just some skills in it where I was like, I didn't know you could do that.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
watching Jack or somebody play it,
The
and I was
game
just like,
straight
what?
up does not tell you that's what tripped me out about Monster
Yeah,
Hunter. Is there's some stuff the game does not like. It's not like, oh, you need to go look in the tutorial. No, it does not tell you something. Like,
yeah,
you're better off, no joke, going to YouTube, because there's actually great Monster Hunter YouTubers. There's a lot of really
right.
good ones, and they explain stuff very simply. That the game literally is like, okay, they're like, you played Monster Hunter 3 back in like 2009, right? You know how this works. Why are you asking me? So yeah, we'll play Monster Hunter, we'll play Deadlock alongside all the fighting
Yeah.
game shit we play.
We'll
So
we'll find we'll find people to guide us through those
yes,
because I am not playing Deadlock just like cold
no,
turkey
I'm not playing
anymore.
that. That's why I
That
haven't
shit
played it yet.
traumatized me, man. It's scary. It's scary. I don't know why everyone's like, "Oh, it's fine. It's easy. You should just play this." But I'm just like, I'm scared. That shit's scary. I don't want to do that.
No, MOBA
So,
players are a different breed because
MOBA players are a different breed, man.
what they're not
They're
telling you is that that's all
crazy.
they play. Like they do, yes, they do play other games, but if you compare the hours they have for MOBAs against other games, nah, that's all they play.
It's
So
crazy. It's
yeah,
wild. Even if they haven't played it in like years, if they get back into like one, it's like with Raz. Like Raz hasn't touched League in I don't know how fucking long because we were talking about that, and then she started playing Deadlock. And I how many hours does she have? Hold on, let me see if I can.
yeah, because is it on Steam? I'm not sure, but
Yeah, it's on Steam.
okay.
Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna look myself. I'm kind of curious.
126 hours on record for Deadlock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about League of Legends. Yeah, no, I don't even
Oh
want to
no
know
no
what
no no
her.
no no no.
I don't want to know what
I
her
don't.
League hours
No,
are.
I don't
I'm
want
sure
to
that
know
that
what
would
her
be
League is.
demonic.
Slap. Slap.
I'm trying to think because I just read a manga that's not too long. It's called Poison Princess. And it's like very gothic. It's by this woman who did a lot of illustrations and short comics for the Gothic Lolita Bible, which was a like magazine sort of that was put out for a while that had a lot of different contributors for it. So I knew her art from when I was like younger and I was like, "Oh, this was like formative for me." It took me forever to realize it was her and then I was like, "Oh, everything makes sense now." The story itself for like a lot of it I was like, "This shit sucks." Like everything's miserable. Everyone's like horrible to this fucking girl like all the time. Kind of hate this. But it played into like gothic tropes where like yeah, everything is miserable, but there's still like this one like kernel of hope. And while the ending is like incredibly tragic, it's still very beautiful and balanced in that way. And so like at the end of it I was like, okay, I can like I think I gave it like a 6.5 or something because it's not like something I would recommend to most people, especially for a lot of it because I was just sitting there like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Like why
Yeah,
why is all this
yeah.
shit happening? Like that none of this was necessary." But it's so over the top that like it loops back around almost, but I could
Right.
completely understand someone dropping that earlier on and just being like, "Oh, she's getting abused again?
Yeah, like I'm
Damn."
good. Yeah, yeah. Like again with this shit? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Gosh. Man, no, but
Yeah.
good. This is a good little section. I feel like I have more to say, but I know that it's we got plenty more of this arc left to talk
Yeah.
about it.
We got
It's
we got a lot left and I don't want to like spoil some stuff that's coming up because I think some of it is kind of spoilery. I I really love Rosine. I've been talking about Rosine since like way early on in this podcast, back when I like
yeah,
read ahead some and I was like fucking love Rosine.
yeah. She's
And it's not
great.
because Rosine's like a good person necessarily again, but she is like a very good character.
Yeah, she's
Um
she's written really well, and like you said, it's good that like he got the like you said, he does treat women like garbage in this, but I feel like he does understand that women have a lot of their own struggles. At least, like it's not just
yeah.
like he's not like it's less of a prop thing now. And then when you have characters like Rosine, it's like okay, he's actually like fleshing this out more. It's like he
Yeah.
understands that young women have struggles that young guys don't. Like
Right.
it's not the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah. I could Sorry, I was thinking I could argue that like Land of the Lustrous is also a very depressing manga,
Hmm.
especially like after a point where it's just like, does anything good happen? And it doesn't feel like it for a bit, and then you realize like when that point happens, and you're like, oh, okay. Um, but yeah, like you said with sorry, that was like a side thing I had, but like you said with Rosine, it's like there's just so much with her that I'm excited to talk about later on. But
Yeah, yeah, me too.
yeah.
Plenty to talk about. I know when to stop analyzing when I'm like, no, but I want to, and I'm like, yeah, I can't talk about that yet. So
Yeah, I
we'll
know.
get
There's like
there.
several things where I'm like, I want to say that. I can't yet though.
Conviction arc is going to be so good. I
So
cannot wait
good.
to talk
So
about that.
hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say this is my favorite arc, but it's like because like in a closed setting it's my favorite arc. Probably because it's a fairy tale, so like it works well as like an isolated story almost. But like there's so many other arcs like in Berserk where I'm like, that was insane. That was
Yeah.
so well done.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Shit's wild.
Yeah. It
But
is
yeah.
wild. It's a good one. I need to get back to it. I have my book out again, so I need to get back to reading it. But Um, yeah, I do feel comfortable sometimes in this podcast though referencing things that happen in the future as long as they're not too specific because
Yeah.
part of me starting to realize like, oh, well, there are people probably listening to this that aren't reading all the way along or they have read
Yeah.
past this part, so
I
I feel
think
like I can
most
mention some
people
stuff.
probably. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
like spoil stuff straight up, but I do like cuz like I want to focus on what's happening while it's happening without the context of like everything else and then later
hmm,
talk about how that ties in, when it's actually relevant. But cuz like right now I want to be like then all this happens, but Guts has to go through a lot before like all that stuff happens. So like I would like to talk about his progression through all of that first and then get to it. But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh boy.
good
Well,
shit.
yeah, I don't know. I'm glad to get back into this. I'm trying to get back more into my manga stuff too. So next time I'll have more stuff to talk about. I'm gonna read that the Jean Bride one that you told me about and probably
Yeah,
get over
it's like
to
it's just like a volume right now. It's not
cool.
very long. I think there's like 3 volumes out total or something, maybe 5, but there's not a lot, so good time
Yeah.
to start reading it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that one's good. And then I think I recommended this anime last time for everybody, but I no one else talks about it, so I feel like I have to shill it really hard. um, but everyone should watch Yatagarasu,
Yeah.
because it's really fucking good, and it has 2 seasons, and it's like done now. So like, you should watch those 2 arcs that it has because it's very well done, and it's a good fun mystery thing, and it's not what you think it is. That's the theme of my recommendations. Apparently, it's not what you think it is because I thought it was going to be like this like court drama intrigue with like concubines, and it like kind of is, but that is not what the main focus is on at all. And I was like, oh, okay. I was
Okay.
completely misled going into this, but I'm not hating it. So it's really
Okay.
good though. Animation is insanely good for what it is. I was like, why is this so good? Why is this
It
animation so
looks good.
crisp?
Yeah.
It looks great. I will put it this way, this anime made me want to read the light novel it was based off of, and I never want to read light novels. I know.
You said light novel. I almost
I yeah, no.
yeah.
It was based off of a light novel series, and like this is the first time I've ever watched something that was based off a light novel and been like, I want to read that like immediately because I want more of this world, and there's a lot more in there.
Yeah.
So, but it's not fucking localized. Kill myself
Hurry up.
instead. I know. I'm like, please, but I
That's
don't know
crazy.
if it
Especially because it has
will.
an anime. That's crazy. Yeah.
I know it has a manga adaptation too, which isn't as good. So I'm just like, please watch the anime.
Yeah. I'll give
Please
that one
watch
a
it.
shot. I can actually watch anime again. My brain is defogged, so
Wahoo!
I'll try that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've been watching a lot of TV shows, a lot of garbage, honestly, but also a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I need
I'm
to talk
trying.
to you about something in a minute, but please
Yeah,
continue.
no problem, no problem. Um, I will say this year of Real Housewives is hilarious. If you're behind on Salt Lake City at all, please watch it. It's so stupid.
I really
Um,
need to.
don't know if I've mentioned this before, but long story short, if you don't watch Real Housewives, New York got rebooted last year, and this is its
Yes.
second season. It got rebooted because the cast was ass.
Yeah, I
Um,
suck.
this cast is horrible for all different reasons. My current least favorite person
Perfect.
is the half black, half white woman who doesn't know that who has really hard time embracing her black culture. She doesn't have black friends and doesn't try to have any black friends, and is now in this season telling an African woman that she can't be the angry black woman on TV. So it's been really fun to watch it because it's
Wow.
very dramatic, it's very stupid. It's New
Yeah.
Yorkers too, so they're all very pompous. One of them was saying how she brought
New Yorkers are
mezcal to
crazy.
America because nobody had done that before. Like 40-something-year-old Jewish woman from New York, right? Like,
What?
no, she like says that verbatim. She's like, I don't know why anybody else wasn't doing this. So it's great. If you ever want to watch rich people act terribly, I always will recommend Real Housewives.
Holy
Besides
shit.
that, me and my wife are rewatching Mad Men. I still think it's such a good show. It's so
I need to watch it, so honestly. I never watched it.
it's good. I it's funny because on the rewatch I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not because I loved it the first time I watched it, but I was like in my late teens, early 20s, right? So I was like, I
Right.
don't trust my opinion. But Haley's never seen it, so we've been watching it. We're almost done. We're on the last bit of season 5. I think there's 7 seasons. Season 7's really short though. It's great. It's a good period piece too, kind of thing. Like they do. Like honestly, my favorite thing about that show, it's just fun to look at because they get the '60s like perfect. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
the set design is really good. All the outfits are really good. It's like very in its time, but also just the character development, how Dawn Draper kind of changes, how Peggy changes and stuff like that just over time, how they address a lot of historical stuff like JFK's assassinations, MLK's assassination, stuff like that. It's good. I know a lot of people consider it like one of the best like modern TV shows, and I wasn't sure about that until I started watching it again. I was like, no, it's very good. The writing gets a little. It's funny because there's like some of the writing you can tell they switch writers and they get a little funnier, but it doesn't like
Mm-hmm.
change the entire scope of the show, right? Like it just
That's
gets a
good.
little snappier. But I'm always gonna recommend it. I'll see how I feel the last couple seasons. I do remember the last season being very good, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. But that's like one of our main rewatches. One of my main rewatches. Haley's never seen it, but we're watching it for the first time. It's a good show. It's definitely like, listen. Of course, it's the '60s, so women aren't treated right or whatever, but they do address that, right? It's not just like them
Right.
going and then fuck women. It's just like, his wife goes through a lot of
Right.
changes. Peggy, who starts as a secretary, she goes through a ton of different changes, and they address it like with care. It's not just like, and then a bad thing happened to the woman and then we just moved on. Like it doesn't do
That's
that a
good.
lot. So if you never watched Mad Men before, I'd say give it a shot. um yeah, besides that, Dragon Ball Super, that's all the stuff I've been reading and stuff too. But time to
Yeah.
get back to Berserk. I'm excited to get back to that.
Yes. Have Have you watched Love Off the Grid?
I have it on my list, have not opened it.
It is so stupid. Like
Oh,
Sasha and I watched both
yeah.
seasons that are out.
Oh, Lord.
Uh oh my god, man. It is crazy. There is a poly couple on it, and that's all I'm gonna say. And they should not be with other people ever.
Mia
One
and
of
me
them
poly couple.
definitely does not want to be also, which is a big part
Oh,
of everything
no.
that goes wrong.
That's the
But she
worst
said
type
she
of
wants
poly
to.
person.
It's like the worst poly politics you have ever heard in your life in one spot. And then the first season has a bunch of really like stupid dudes in it who like don't even know how to live off the land, and I'm just sitting there like, you're a moron. Why are you doing this? And then like second season was also pretty crazy. I feel like we watched another show recently. Hold on, let me look on our
Yeah,
HBO.
I'm trying to see too. I
It's
will
on
say while
HBO
you're
Max because we don't have
yes.
Hulu anymore right now.
Yes, it's on HBO Max. I listen. I'll get around to that one. That just reminded me of my favorite thing I remember when I think about poly people. Is I was listening to a podcast one day. I don't even remember what the podcast was. They're interviewing somebody who was poly, And she said, I'm deeply sad a lot of the time because I do have to share
Oh,
him, and I feel like he should be mine. But the pleasure that we get out of it is, I think it's a good trade-off. And all I could think is, girl, this is not for you. I don't think you should be poly. You just said that you were deeply depressed because you have to share your man
yeah,
with somebody else. I think that means that you shouldn't be doing this. I think that you need to go be
right.
in a monogamous relationship because it sounds like you were being deeply hurt by being in this relationship. Um, Speaking of HBO Max bullshit, though, I have also been watching. We had to take a break because it was pissing me off too much. But we
Hmm.
were also watching Mama's Boy. I love a Mama's Boy.
I need
That
to
shit
finish
is
that one.
gold.
It's
Um,
crazy. We watched part
it's
of the first season and we're just like,
Oh yeah, I'm on like season 3.
yeah, we didn't
Um,
realize there was that much.
no, we didn't either. We didn't realize there was seasons until season 3 was like halfway over.
Yeah, man.
Season 2, we're almost done with it because I had to keep taking breaks. These people are insane.
Yeah.
These women, I feel really bad for them, but some of them do leave, which is good. But I think more of them should leave.
Yes.
From what I've seen on the show. And from what I've seen, a lot of them are starting to leave more. It's so good. It's just a bunch of dudes who are way too attached to their mothers. Um, there's one that I was almost kind of confident, like me and Haley were watching. I was like, no, this dude's having sex with his mom. I don't care what anybody says. This man is having sex with his mother.
Oh
You
God.
cannot convince me he's not. They're too fucking weird. His name's Ethan and his mom. Yeah, you'll meet them. But
Yeah.
highly recommend if you need your dose of cringe.
Okay.
It is. I have to take breaks. Haley can watch this shit all day, and I envy her for that. But like sometimes she's like, "Well, we haven't watched it because you got tired of it." And I was like, "Yeah, because it literally brings me pain watching it
Yeah.
sometimes." It's like
Okay.
actual psychic damage.
We watched the religious one. I can't remember what it is.
Mm.
It's like where they are dating someone outside their faith and trying to decide
Oh
if they
yeah.
can be together. That one is also insane and pissed me off. But like there's a lot of good shit in it too, so like your mileage may vary with that one. There's one couple where I found out some of it was fake afterwards and I was like, thank God, because that shit was pissing me the fuck off. I was
Oh
like, what
good.
the hell? But yeah, there's this one dude who's Orthodox Jewish, and she clearly does not want to convert at first, but she wants to be with him so bad. And they were both addicts, and so like
Mm.
met in recovery, which definitely is a good thing to do. But it's just kind of clear she has some self-esteem issues, and I wish she hadn't stayed with him. But apparently, they're both like huge like MAGA people now, and I'm just like, great, cool.
Mm.
That sucks. There's
Yeah,
just a
that's
lot
awesome.
going on that show. I also watched Love Is Blind Habibi, which is
Huh?
insane. It's
Huh?
so you want to watch Arab people going at each other for like an hour every time? That shit was wild.
It
It
sounds like
was
you just
good.
created the funniest show of all time. I think I'm going to
Yes,
find
I
this.
saw they were going to do that, and I was like, they're all from like the UAE and shit. Well, they're not. A lot of them live in like the UAE or live in Dubai specifically, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna suck. It was incredible.
I'm going to have to watch that.
Y'all have to watch it. I'm dead ass. Like it was an experience, and like there was a lot of it where I was just like, oh my god. I feel like I know these men and women and not in a good way. There's one woman who's literally like feminists ruin everything for her. Like she's crazy. She's so fucking funny for like what? She gets so fucking out of pocket later on and I was just like, "You know what?
Re-
You go ahead. You go ahead and do that drama for the
Reality
show."
TV is just so it's just so good. It's just so
Yeah,
good. I need to watch less of it and replace it with other things, but I will never stop watching reality
I
TV.
know.
It's just evil in the best way because
Yes.
like Real Housewives, like Salt Lake City is like possibly the most evil Housewives franchise, and like because it shows Mormonism like for what it really is, which is just a bunch of
Yeah.
people like using religion to get money. And
Yeah.
like one of the people on the show runs a tequila company. And if you know anything about
Yes. She's
Mormons,
crazy.
that doesn't make any yeah, Lisa Barlow. She also was defending the, because she also is, in my opinion, she's not a real Mormon, and a lot of people agree about that, right? She's not a real Mormon. She picks and chooses what she wants, like a lot of the other Mormons on
Right.
the show, because when somebody's trying to alert her that, like, hey, Mormonism hates black people, her response is, but so and so's a Mormon and they're black. Like it's great. It's just the best type of people who are on
Yeah.
television.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good stuff.
I
But
need to watch more of that one, and I want to watch the New York reboot because I was so sick of Luann. Oh my god, I'm so glad she's not on the fucking show anymore.
I think you'll like the reboot. There is a, so there's a fashionista lady, lesbian,
Oh no.
super. I
Oh
wanted to
no.
like her so bad. I don't. I think Haley still likes her. I do not like her.
Look,
Uh,
rich gays are on the thinnest ice in the world
I
because
don't.
half the time they say the stupidest fucking shit I have ever heard in my
Jenna
life.
Jenna Lyons, that's who it is. I do not like Jenna Lyons. I think she's an asshole. My one of my biggest complaints about her is that in the first season she won't stop talking about how her mom with Asperger's was just so terrible to her. So Jenna does not know that she is also autistic, and it's kind of like painful to watch
Oh,
the show. It's like
oh,
you are your anyway. But the thing is that she
oh,
blames the reason that her mom was an asshole on her autism, and it's like, I don't like you for, because she talks about it way too much in the first season. She brings it up like
God.
every other episode, and it's like, my mom was so cold, and then you hear other people say like, yeah, Jen is really cold. Like it's like painful to watch in
Jeez.
some ways, but
That's crazy.
it was almost cool because I was like, oh cool, we have a gay Real Housewife. That's really cool. It was just funny because she's not a housewife. And then
Right.
the second season, though, we get another lesbian woman, and she's awesome. I love her. She's great.
Oh, okay,
But
cool. I
but
love that.
yeah, we get an addition. But Jenna Lyons is typical white rich gay,
Right.
basically. If you can just
Damn.
just picture her, she's almost cool until one. She also does the thing that people do in Real Housewives, where they come on and they don't want to share things, and it's like, then get the fuck off
You're
the
on
show.
Housewives.
Get at it.
You're
Get out of here.
That's
She
in the
pretends.
contract.
That's another thing I like about her. She pretends that she's like too good for the show sometimes, and it's
Oh
like,
my
well, then get
god.
the fuck off.
You're
Like
on
you're
Housewives.
shit, or get off the
Yeah.
pot. So, I like that she's there. I just don't like her. Like I
I think
don't
that's fair.
like her.
It's frustrating when
Yeah,
reality show people like act like they're better than the show they're on, and it's just like you chose to be here. That's how I feel. I'm watching Love Is Blind a lot of the
mm,
time too, because you could tell why they're on there. It's just for like the clout of it all or whatever. But like it's it's just so fucking crazy to watch because it's like I don't like you, and
yeah.
they're like I didn't looks are really important to me, and I'm like, then why the fuck are you on Love Is Blind? Get the fuck out of here. That's the
Love Is
whole point
Blind,
of the show.
biggest clout chasers in all of reality TV right now. Like they're all doing it. One of the guys, you'll remember him. He's the one who's asking girls if he'd be able to pick them up. He actually ended up on a show called House of Villains, where they chose like villains from around reality TV and they put them
Yeah,
in
yeah,
one
I heard
house.
about that.
Love. By the way, great show. I'm watching the
Okay.
second season right now. There's somebody from drag queen from
Oh
RuPaul's Drag Race on
no.
there too.
Oh boy.
It's chef's kiss.
I
Great
can
shit.
imagine. Okay,
But
I'll check
yeah,
that one out
Love Is
too.
Blind is
That's
I need to.
crazy.
I don't watch every season of Love Is Blind. I need to catch up because sometimes it's too much. Like I can't, like, sometimes
So
I'm watching Love
I
Is
don't
Blind. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't usually like it. It's like very background noise for me if I do watch it half the
yeah.
time because like if I paid attention to it, I think my brain would like melt out of my ears. I do watch this one YouTuber's recaps of like every season, and I watched her recap of this last one. Do you know anything about this last season of Love Is Blind?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'm about to like all right. So there's this dude on it, and after like the pods and everything, he's like with this woman. She finds out that he has kids, and you're like, "Oh, that sucks." And then he's like, "Well, they are my biological kids, but like I donated sperm to like my friends who were lesbian couple, and they,
Oh, okay.
and it was a whole thing." And I was like, "Oh,
Right.
okay, like I can get that." So that is technically what happened, but he was acting like he wasn't in these kids' lives. He's there on like Christmas and shit for them regularly. He also uh with one of the women just like regularly conceived a kid, like they cheated on the other wife and had more kids, and I think he has like 4 kids now or something like that with this woman. Um and then
Huh?
and she's like really embarrassed about it too. He does not tell her any of this shit, by the way, for the longest
Because he
time.
knows it's
And
fucking weird.
well, and you also find out, I also found out through Sasha, who found this out through probably like, oh no, they didn't or something. He, when, so the lesbian couple divorced, and in the divorce, he filed for custody of his biological kids so the one wife couldn't see them. And then he ghosted everybody when he went on Love is Blind, and they just hadn't heard from him the entire time he was on the show
That
after
is
fighting for custody for the
wow.
kids.
Wow.
What the fuck?
That
He's just a
he
genuinely dirt human being.
they all deserve their own reality TV show. Fuck the Love is Blind shit. I just want to know what's going on
Yeah,
over there. Cause
I was like,
what do you
what the
mean you cheated on
fuck?
your wife with what?
Yeah, it
Huh?
was crazy with like, and he was like, oh my god, it was so weird. And he was so involved in the kids' lives too, and was trying to make it seem like, oh, I just donated some sperm, it's their kid, all this stuff. And this poor woman who's like dating him is like, oh, okay, doesn't know any of this other shit because we didn't find out until like post everything when people were watching the show and started snooping on him. And it was
What the
like there
fuck?
just kept being shit that came out. I'll link you to the summary videos that I liked watching for this season because I feel like I don't know if I could watch this season honestly because like half of it was just like dog shit and then there was like all of that going on and I was just like, huh, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I
Um,
don't even know how the
and
rest of the
also
season could be interesting.
yeah, and then she like unpacks like a bunch of the other stuff that happened outside of the show too. So it's just like, oh, it's crazy. Um,
That's
anyways, fucking
insane.
wild.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I know. I like Sasha. It was like every week Sasha would be like, "So we found out more about that dude," and I was like, "No, don't tell me more about that dude. What do you
I
mean?"
gotta watch now. I gotta tune the fuck in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm intrigued because that guy sounds like
yeah.
actual Satan
He
came to
he's
life.
so good at lying. It's scary. Like it was genuinely scary how straight faced he was telling her all these lies and not hinting at all to any of that shit. Like she had no idea about any of it. It was it
I
was
yeah,
crazy, dude.
yeah, all of that on top of the fact he just did not like that is crazy. The
Yes.
fact that like yeah, let alone fuck that. That is all crazy. Then on top of that, you don't tell. Okay, I gotta tune the fuck in. We could talk about
Yeah,
this
you
all
gotta
day. I gotta tune the
yeah,
fuck
we
in.
could. Yeah, you should watch that one or watch a recap. You should definitely watch Love is Blind Habibi. I think both you and Haley will get a kick out of that one. There is so much going on that show. I think one couple made it out at the end. Like that's it.
Oh, I love that though. I love when that
That's
happens. I love
crazy.
when that
I was like,
happens.
holy fuck. It's so messy and like but there's like I don't know. To me it was way more interesting than like the American ones cuz like I feel like I found out there's like a lot of women who apply to Love is Blind but not a lot of dudes, so they kind of have to scout them a little bit.
That's kind of funny. I
But
didn't
because
know
of that,
that.
they don't like vet them, which is like why guys like that dude got on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like it was a little bit different with Habibi. Um, there's also some dudes on there I really need you to see because I was just sitting here like,
I cannot wait to talk to you about this. We need to
like,
just do reality TV dumps for this shit
dude,
too.
if I
Yeah.
don't mind like every other week or something, or like having a side podcast where some weeks if Berserk's too much, like we just talk about reality TV because
Yeah.
there's so much crazy shit with
Listeners,
reality
you let
TV.
us know. If you've gotten this
Yeah,
far into the podcast, let us know
yeah,
if you would like us
if
to do
we put
this.
this out as a bunny trail and you like it enough and you want to hear us talk shit more about this, we would love to,
We got
because both
plenty.
of us watch so much dog shit. Like
So
we
much
talk a lot about junk
garbage.
food media. This is Chevall and I's junk food media for
I
sure.
I love how a good reality TV show. I just gotta cut it with like something that I like actually get something
Yeah,
out of.
that like
So
gets your brain like stimulated.
yeah.
It's like I have to watch like a movie sometimes and be like, okay,
No, for real.
Let
For
me
real.
appreciate art for a moment before I go back to like watching someone's like mother-in-law rip them in half. It's just like
I
it's
cannot.
just crazy, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, Love Off the Grid, Love is Blind Habibi, and then the religious one. I cannot remember
Yeah.
what it is called for the life of me. That's what I recommend right now.
Yes.
What is
And for
that
the
called?
just to clarify, Real Housewives, any of them. There's like 3 on right now. I think right now Potomac, New York, and Salt Lake City are all running right now. Um, Potomac's kind of weak this season. It's kind of just boring. Salt Lake City is great. New York is great. So watch all those. And then also, if you have the stomach for it, I Love a Mama's Boy is a good study in why you should not parent your children too hard, because then they'll slap their mom on the ass all the time and call her hot. So we don't want any more of that. So
Forbidden
recommend
Love.
Forbidden Love. Yes,
Forbidden
I have
Love.
seen that one. Okay, I'll look into that one. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But listen,
Yeah.
I think that this is a good episode to be back.
Don't walk away. You love me no matter what you say. You need me. Don't try to change what is meant to be.
Game over!